Well, just before we went on that break, we were talking to the DG of the Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, and Henry Wazwa, who is the national coordinator of the PDP Good Governance Group. Now, Mr. Okechukwu, just before we went on break, I was saying that for the president, it needs to go beyond worry, and that he has a responsibility to ensure that he puts a stop to all of these killings. What do you think is the challenge that he's facing in that regard?
You know, I started by saying that what we're talking about is now solution, solution, solution. You know, the handicap we have for us in the government is that I cannot come here now to explain in details the kind of communication gadgets, the kind of technology and position, even in the command structure, the instructions Mr. President had given to the units. Because it's a security matter, you cannot come here openly and tell the people what is happening. And some of these solutions cannot come within few weeks. Some of the deployments of the gadgets cannot be concluded in 3 months. That's why it's like Mr. President is aloof. It's not aloof. As a former general of the army, he knows that the only solution, because initially when we came to government, the focus was on the Boko Haram. And suddenly, we have this issue of herdsmen, farmers clashes across the country. And it becomes so deadly because even some of the locals are trying to point out that the local herdsmen they live with are not their enemies or the marauders. So it becomes a new trajectory that requires some incisive. It's not a political, for Mr. President, for some of us to come and say, look at what Mr. President had done. This is the order he had given to the security agencies. This is the equipment he's procuring. This is what will happen there or happen there.
But don't you think
it doesn't go that way if you do that?
Don't you think that it deserves an explanation? If on a weekly basis, I mean from the beginning of this year, and let's just talk about this year alone, some people put reports at almost over 1,000 people have been killed. If we're
talking about a newspaper carried yesterday.
Yes, the 1,000.
I think one of the newspapers,
over
National Vanguard.
1,300 people have been killed.
What we're saying, there's a commonality of purpose in this matter. Nobody is happy with the bloodletting, talk less of Mr. President. But what I'm saying is that the details of the solutions being hatched is not in the interest of the people or the government to make it open. If we do it, we'll kill the idea, we'll kill the resource, we'll kill the energy. We also put in harm's way the security officials that are being deployed. Because the enemy you're targeting, as I said, is not a conventional warfare where you can consign that this enemy is coming through this way. Let, for instance, if you ask the village people today, can I say something?
Yes.
A simple matter. The village vigilantes, the Nigerian police force used to have community relationship with the vigilantes on the villages. They have been ordered to return all their weapons. What is the target? The target is that tomorrow you might not see any herdsman or any villager armed, but it cannot be done in one day. So, but it's not something we can come openly in order to have sympathy on our side, or in order to get people to appreciate that Mr. President.
We will come to that particular strategy.
If you do that,
let me quickly bring in Mr. Wazuru here, because there have also been questions on that particular strategy. But what are your thoughts? He says that the president is doing something, but that all that is being done cannot be disclosed for security reasons.
I feel so sad having to listen to this kind of excuse when human beings are being killed. If this is the best that the government can give us, then we're in a serious mess. The president's body language is the fuel that has been fueling this crisis. His body language, that's all.
How do you mean his body language?
Let me explain. Early this year, in January, there were terrible attacks in Benue. Terrible attacks. There were attacks in Taraba. There were attacks in different parts of the country. The president just deemed it fit to visit 3 months after. There is nowhere in the world, nowhere, there is no country in the world practicing democracy where a president will be that insensitive. There is nowhere. There is no single place. I've checked. 3 months for the commander-in-chief to visit the locations of such massacres. Number one is, it passes a message across. It's even, it puts the security agents on the ground. It confuses them.
How do you mean?
When we say a president should visit the scene of such colossal loss, there are 3 reasons, main reasons. Number one is, such presidential visit passes a message to the victims, to the family of those who lost their loved ones, that the Nigerian state is with you. That's a fundamental message that you need to pass at that moment. Because people begin to question their Nigerianness when they feel abandoned. That's number one. That's number one.
How soon, while you state the reasons, how soon do you think the president should have visited?
Immediately.
Immediately?
Yes, please.
By that, what do you mean by that?
24 hours max. 24 hours maximum.
24 hours?
That is what is obtainable anywhere. 24 hours. I mean, for goodness sake, these are, when he says these are not conventional warfare, what are they? If Nigerians can call security agencies and tell them that we have information, these people are coming to attack this village, hours before the attack actually takes place, and this attack eventually takes place, and then we are seeing pictures on social media, they're saying, oh, this village was standing 3 hours ago, but it's gone down, and we call security agencies.